Welcome to this session. This session we are going to talk about partial fraction decomposition. This is one more concept which is used very often or which will be of much use while solving the recurrence relations using the method of generating functions. So without much ado, let's directly jump into partial fractions. First we'll understand what are partial fractions and then we'll see a number of examples of how to find out the partial fractions. Now to write a sum, say for example I have two fractions available with me, two fractional expressions if they are given to me. To write a sum or difference of fractional expressions as a single fraction, we bring them to a common denominator. We find the LCM of them. So suppose I have this expression 1 upon x minus 1 and 1 upon 2x plus 1. So if I want to solve it, so first task that I want to do is I will find the multiple of these two. The denominator will now have x minus 1, 2x plus 1, and I'll be having 2x plus 1 plus x minus 1. So I'll be left with this expression 3x upon 2x square minus x minus 1. So what I've done over here is to write the sum. I could have also gone for the difference. If I was going in for the difference, then it would have simply means if this was, let us say, if this was 1 upon x minus 1 minus 1 upon 2x plus 1, then I would have solved it like 2x plus 1 minus x minus 1 divided by x minus 1 2x plus 1. Then instead of 3x over here, I would have obtained 2x minus x was 2x minus x is x, and 1 minus minus 1 is 2, x plus 2 divided by 2x square minus x minus 1. So in both the cases what I have done is I have first brought the denominator to a common denominator. So for addition or subtraction of fractional expressions, I multiply the denominators to bring them to a common denominator. But sometimes we need to do the reverse process. For some applications of algebra or calculus, we must reverse the process. Say I have an expression like this. See, you remember this was the expression that I obtained when I added the two fractions. So if I have, now I'm doing the reverse process. If I have an expression like this, now what I have to do is I have to write it in the form of or bring out these two components from here. Now these two components that I have to extract from this expression, they are called partial fractions. So the process is, if I want to do the common denominator, if I'm adding the two expressions, I get these two expressions are there. So if I make the denominator common, I am left with this. Whereas in case of partial fractions, what I am doing is I am actually taking one common denominator and breaking it into multiple denominators. Let's see how. Find the partial fraction decomposition of the given function. So we have to find the partial fraction decomposition of the given function. First of all, what we'll do is we will factor the denominator. This is the denominator that has been given to you, x square minus 2x minus 15. First of all, I will factor the denominator. So I have 5x minus 1 divided by x plus 3 and x minus 5. Now we write the partial fractions using the simple coefficients, using the coefficients that we will find out later using the method. So next we write the partial fractions. We write them as a1 upon x plus 3 and a2 upon x minus 5. Now the value of a1 and a2 needs to be found out by using the method of partial fractions. Now what I'll do is I'll clear the denominator first. I'll remove the denominator. How do I do that? I multiply both sides by x plus 3 multiplied by x minus 5. So when I do that, I get 5x plus 1. A, as the denominator is x plus 3, it will be multiplied by x minus 5, and for a2, as the denominator is x minus 5, it will be multiplied by x plus 3. Now solve it. You get 5x plus 1 is equal to a1x minus 5a1 plus a2x plus 3a2. Let's do one thing. Let's collect the terms having the variable x and those terms which do not have the variable x. So I can write it as, see, these are the terms a1x was there and a2x was there. So I combine these two terms a1 and a2x, and the terms without x I have again combined them separately. So now I have 5x plus 1 is equal to a1 plus a2x plus minus 5a1 plus 3a2. Right? This is the series, this is the expression that I am left with. Now what I will do is I will compare the terms with x and the terms without x. So I have two equations now. a1 plus a2 is equal to 5 and minus 5a1 plus 3a2 is equal to minus 1. These are two simple linear equations in simple coefficients. You can solve them easily. Solving the equations, I get a1 is equal to 2 and a2 is equal to 3. If you remember, we started off with a1 upon x plus 3 and a2 upon x minus 5. So, once I have a1 and the values of a1 and a2, now I can write them as, I'll put a1 is equal to 2 and a2 is equal to 3. So I'll get 2 upon x plus 3 and 3 upon x minus 5. Now this is the partial fraction decomposition of this expression. If you want to verify, you can again solve it, multiply the denominators, cross multiply, and you will get this expression back. I suggest you verify it, right, so that the system will be clearer to you. Now I'll tell you another method of doing the same thing. Once again, the process starts off similarly. If I want to find out the partial fractions of this, once again, I will factorize the denominator. I will use the coefficients a1 and a2, and I will once again cross multiply, and I will collect the terms over here, the terms of a1 and a2. Now, in the previous method, what we did was we collected the terms containing x at one side and the terms without x at other side. But in this method, we will be working in a slightly different manner. What I'll do is, I'll put x is equal to 5. If I put x is equal to 5, now this will become 0. This will become 0. So, this becomes, if I put x is equal to 5, so this becomes 5 multiplied by 5 minus 1 is equal to a1 5 minus 5 plus a2 5 plus 3. So the equation reduces to 24 is equal to 8a2. Similarly, what I can do is I can put x is equal to minus 3. When I put x is equal to minus 3, now the equation becomes 5 multiplied by minus 3 minus 1 is equal to a1 minus 3 minus 5 plus a2 minus 3 plus 3. Once again, this will become 0. So now the equation becomes minus 16 is equal to minus 8a1. See these two equations. This is an equation only in a2. So this will directly give me a2 is equal to 3. And this equation can give me a1 is equal to 2. So I'll put x is equal to 5 to eliminate a1 and find a2. Then I'll put x is equal to minus 3 to eliminate a2 and find a1. So, once I have a1 and a2, I will obtain the partial fractions. Let's see some more examples. Find the partial fraction decomposition of the given function. Now, once I factorize the denominator, I get x minus 2 whole square. Right? Now, this x into x minus 2 whole square, I can write it like a1 upon x. Now, this x minus 2 whole square is actually x minus 2 and x minus 2 square. There are two terms involved in this. So, I'll write a2 upon x minus 2 and a3 upon x minus 2 whole square. So, whenever you have a term like this, square, it will be broken down or decomposed into two terms over here. One with the denominator with power 1 and one with the denominator with power 2. Now proceeding in exactly the same manner, I'll clear the fractions by multiplying both sides by the denominator. I'll get minus x square plus 2x plus 4 is equal to a1 into x minus 2 whole square plus a2x x minus 2 and a3x. Now solve them and combine like terms. I'll get a1 plus a2 x square, and these are the terms which contain x, and this is the term which does not contain x. Now you see, on the left hand side also I have terms containing x square, on this side also I have terms containing x square. Here again I have a term which has only x, and once again here also I have terms in x, the constant term, the constant. So I'll equate the terms and compare the coefficients. So I'll get these three equations. Solving these three equations, this will first give me this particular equation will give me a1 is equal to 1, 4a1 is equal to 4, so a1 is equal to 1. I can put a1 is equal to 1 over here, so this will give me a2 is equal to minus 2. Then I'll put the value of a1 and a2 over here, this will give me the value of a3. So I get a1 is equal to 1, a2 is equal to minus 2 and a3 is equal to 2. Putting them over here, I get the partial fraction decomposition. Once again, I could have done it using the simpler method. Once I come up to this point where I have simply removed the denominator, now what I can do is I can put x is equal to 0. First what I'll do is I'll put x is equal to 0. And then I'll put x is equal to 2. So once I put x is equal to 2, this term of a1 and a2 both will get eliminated, and I will solve for a3. Then I'll put x is equal to 0 and I'll solve for, if I put x is equal to 0, once I have obtained a3, I'll solve for a1 and use any other value of x, and you can solve for a2. Remember, let me repeat once again. When you put x is equal to 2, now this becomes 0, this becomes 0, you are only left with a3. You can solve for a3. When I put x is equal to 0, sorry, this term becomes 0, this term also becomes 0, and you are only left with a1. Now you have solved for a1 and a3. Now you can use any other value of x and you can solve for a2. So do that, you will get these values and put them over here, you will get the partial fraction. Now let's apply a similar process while working with irreducible quadratic factors, slightly more typical denominators. Say I have this expression x square plus 4x plus 1 divided by x cube minus x square plus x plus 1, right? Now I have to find the partial fraction decomposition of this expression. Now once I factor the denominator, this is the denominator, x cube minus x square plus x plus, minus 1. This I'll get x square, if I take common, x square, x minus 1 plus x minus 1, that means x minus 1 x square plus 1. Now these are the components of the denominator. So that means it can be written as, now please pay attention, it can be written as, so this is a simple linear expression, x minus 1. So I'll write a upon x minus 1. But this is a polynomial in degree 2, x square plus 1. So for this x square plus 1, the partial fraction term will be bx plus c. If I have a square term over here, then the partial fraction term will be bx plus c. Similarly, if I had a cubic term over here, then it would have been bx square plus cx plus d. So now I have to find the values of a, b and c. Now the method is same. What I'll do is I'll simply multiply both sides by the denominator to clear the fractions. So I'm left with x square plus 4x plus 1 is equal to a multiplied by x square plus 1 and bx plus c multiplied by x minus 1. Right? Now expand and combine terms. Once again, x square terms we take together, x terms we take together, and the terms without x we take on one side. Then we compare the terms. Compare the coefficients, you'll find a plus b is equal to 1, minus b plus c is equal to 4, and a minus c is equal to 1. Solve these equations, you'll find the values of a, b and c as 3, minus 2 and 2. Put them in the original partial fraction expression and you'll get 3 upon x minus 1 and minus 2x plus 2 divided by x square plus 1. This is the partial fraction decomposition of the given expression. One final example. If I have an expression like this, 2x cube minus x square plus 5x, and on the denominator side I have x square plus 1, which is then again squared, right? So the expansion of this will be, as this is x square plus 1, so I'll have b1x plus c1, and once again as it is squared, so there will be two terms, one with denominator with power 1 and one with denominator with power 2. So I have b1x plus c1 and b2x plus c2. Now solving it in the simple fashion, the normal way, simply I'll clear the fraction, so I'll get b1x plus c1 into x square plus 1 plus b2x plus c2. Solve them, collect like terms, so you get 2x cube minus x square plus 5x plus is equal to b1x cube plus c1x square b1 b2. Once again compare the terms. X cube, I only have one term over here, so I get b1 is equal to 2. Simply b1 x cube is equal to 2x cube, so b1 is equal to 2. Right? Then again x square terms, I only have one term, c1 x square is equal to x square, so compare them, so I get c1 is equal to minus 1, and for x I have two terms over here, I'll write b1 plus b2 is equal to 5. I already have the value of b1, that will be 2 plus b2 is equal to 5, that means b2 is equal to 3, and similarly I can find the value of c2. Once I have the values of b1, b2, c1 and c2, now I can go back to the original expression and put the values over there, and I'll get the partial fraction decomposition of this expression. Once again, I suggest you practice with a number of expressions to find their partial fraction decomposition. Now both generating functions and partial fraction decomposition, both of them should be clear to you before we actually start the solving of recurrence relations with the help of generating functions. That we'll talk about in our next session. Till then, thank you.